What is good, Neo family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this video, we'll be talking about the one and only Neo stock and what I think is going to play out for the future of this company. I'm also going to talk about why Neo is in the red for today. I'm also going to talk about the overall stock market and the latest pieces of news that just came out that could definitely affect the market and Neo as a whole going forward. I'm also going to talk about the latest pieces of news affecting Neo, as we have a new deal that just came out that makes me very, very excited, as Neo is making a deal with BlackBerry. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with Neo's Twitter page, as they have received another very high rating that makes me very, very excited. Now, before I say anything about this, however, before I talk about Neo's Twitter page, how Neo got a high rating, what the share price is probably going to do, what the Fed is doing, how this could affect the stock market, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, guys. This is all for educational purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you will not only qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each with up to $3,500, but you're also going to qualify for free real-time level 2 data for US stocks with $0 in trading commissions. So please check that out if you guys want. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So this is Neo's current share price. As you guys can see, it's down about 4.33%, and it was looking like it was pretty good a couple of days ago, because if we zoom out a little bit, you guys can see we had a low of about $27. We ran up a little bit, then dropped. Our next low went up to about like the 27.78. It's a little bit higher. Then we started this upward trend. We were looking pretty bullish, but what ended up happening is we closed a little bit in the red, and that's because of something that happened that was not Neo's fault. Neo dropped with the overall market. So did Tesla. So did AMC and so many other stocks and cryptocurrencies out there, guys. So let's talk about the market first before we go into more detail about Neo. This is the S&P. It's down 1.77%. This is the NASDAQ, right? It's down about 2.6%. So the entire market was in the red. And that's because of what was going on with the Fed, the new rates that are coming out and other big things. So let's talk about this right here. The Dow drops 540 points. The NASDAQ falls 2.6% as the 10-year yield rises to 2-year high. Once again, this is very significant news. And that's because of the fact that, look, when these new numbers are coming out, the revenue for many tech stocks or stocks in the Nasdaq, such as Tesla or other things like that, and this could cause the revenue to look less enticing in the future as this yield goes up. So what does this mean for Neo going forward? The entire tech stocks sector ended up taking a big hit because of this change. Now, this in turn did cause a lot of big moves for these big market makers. Now, there's also aggressive policy tightening by the Federal Reserve because of high inflation, as they have more hawkish outlooks. That was also determined by Brainerd and Jerome Powell, and that in turn is going to probably cause a lot more concerns for the market, and that brought Neo alongside many stocks down. Now, we also had some earnings that came out this week. JP Morgan earnings, they beat expectations, but the stock fell higher as the higher expenses and slower trading ended up playing out. So in our economy, guys, we're seeing slower trading and other things like that did end up causing the market to have some bearish sentiment. Now, look at this right here, guys. We're seeing new articles like this coming out saying that the stock market crash is coming. There's lots of signs in 2022. First off, let me talk about these real quick. Then I'm going to talk about how this could affect Neo. So we have a thing known as the January effect. That means that if you look at how the market performs in January, that often is a good determiner of how the entire year is going to play out, right? And January has been pretty shaky, so 2022 will probably be shaky too. Now, we're seeing slowing Chinese growth because of what's going on with the Evergrande situation, and that in turn is going to affect Chinese real estate and American real estate too, and the entire stock market as a whole, as a lot of American companies depend on Chinese money for these bonds. Now, we're also seeing inflation going through the roof, guys, 7% for December, which is why the Fed is going to be a lot more hawkish. And on top of that, guys, tech stocks and Bitcoins are kind of taking a beating as, many other factors are playing a role alongside the Omicron variant. So all these things are leading us to the conclusion that we could see a bit of a correction coming up quite soon. And the fear associated with that is what is kind of driving the markets a little bit in the red right now. Now, the fear and greed index is kind of inaccurate in my opinion. It says that the market is pretty neutral. It seems more fearful in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But looking at Neo, guys, Now, because this happened, because NEO went off course because of the market, NEO did nothing wrong. You have to remember that. The MACD flips with the 9-day moving average showing a bearish sign, and the RSI dropped to about 41.34. Once again, another bearish sign, and this is looking at it with 2-hour candles. Now, this is showing us that NEO is probably going to continue to drop a little bit more going into tomorrow if the market continues like this. But it's a little bit hard for me to make a perfect prediction because it's dropping with the market. NEO did next to nothing wrong. But based off these technical indicators, it looks like we are going to start testing the $29 level of support and go to the $28 level pretty soon. That's what it's looking like. We could see 28 starting tomorrow. Now, this is not NEO's fault. Like I told you guys, NEO has done next to nothing wrong. It's just falling with the market. Now, that brings me into this right here. Why did NEO drop today? Why is NEO stock lower? And the Motley Fool actually stated that NEO did nothing wrong. And that's another very good sign, in my opinion. They did talk about how the yield on the benchmark 10-year US Treasury, it did rise a little bit, causing the entire tech sector to take a bit of a hit. That includes Tesla, guys. Tesla's also down about like over 3%. But look at this here. It stated that there was some minor positive news on the note for NEO. Once again, NEO announced a new deal with BlackBerry, which is very awesome. That's going to help them to develop an open self-driving platform that's a lot more flexible. Once again, a new chips when they're partnered with BlackBerry. Very, very awesome news in my opinion. Once again, that's very bullish news. And the NEO has done nothing wrong. Yet the share price was in the red because of the overall market. The same thing could be said about Tesla. Tesla did nothing wrong, and I was wrong. It's down 1.82%, not 3%. But anyways, Tesla is in the red. It did nothing wrong. Same thing with NEO. NEO is down 4.33%. Okay, I'm not scared because NEO also has a lot of big catalysts for 2022. The market could see a hit in 2022, but I still see NEO seeing a good recovery relatively soon because the EV sector is going to be very bright. We're going to expect a lot of expansion coming out. On top of that, guys, we have very, very good things coming out with the new model lineup. Maybe a new car will be unveiled. The ET7 sedan's coming out, and so is the ET5. It's going to be very awesome, in my opinion. Not to mention the fact that NEO is going to see very impressive deliveries as their production goes up. Everything's looking pretty good, guys. Many big investors are raising their price targets for NEO, once again making me very, very bullish. Now, to end this video, I wanted to talk about this right here. NEO has a new tweet that just came out that makes me super excited. And NEO talked about how NEO was recently rated as a 5A enterprise, according to the Automotive Industry Energy Conservation and Green Development Evaluation Center, which officially released the 2021 Auto Enterprise Green Development Index. Once again, that's bullish news in my opinion. NEO has getting very, very high ratings. It's one of the greenest cars out there and it's doing very, very well. So what does this mean for the share price going forward? NEO is still part of the EV sector. In the future, I see this thing going to the moon, but tomorrow we could see a red day. So we may not explode tomorrow, but eventually, guys, just as many big investors are giving NEO higher price targets, I think the explosion is going to come eventually. And if you give this thing time, guys, it's getting closer and closer and closer. That's what I have for this one, guys. Give NEO the time it needs, and I see this thing going to the moon. And with that said, I'll see you on the next one. NEO to the moon, and peace out.